heck?
What? What the?
What the? I think the mailbox is broken.
Let me try. What the? Oh man, that's really there. Dad, the mailbox is broken.
What do you mean the mailbox is broken?
We found this in the mailbox.
It's definitely broken.
I'll be the judge of that. So I don't know why you guys are saying this is broken. Oh, well, maybe. Oh, hey, there's that remote I was looking for. Sweet. All right, to get this project started, the first thing we're gonna need is some pressure treated 2x4s. And for the outside, I've decided to go with some cedar fence pickets. It's rot resistant and bug resistant. After that, I'm gonna get some landscape rocks and some flowers and bushes and stuff like that to go, but we'll tackle that at the end. Let's get to it. Alright, just got back from the big box store and picked up some pressure treated 2x4s. These are 8-footers. One thing I hate about these pressure treated boards, especially from the big box stores, these things are absolutely soaked still. And they are very heavy. I just hate working with this stuff. Now with the design I came up with, I want to keep this same angle that the mailbox has. I want to carry it through the design into the cedar below. So I picked up one of these digital angle finders and we're going to use that to find out the angle. Because I want to match the angle of the mailbox, I'm grabbing a scrap 2x4 here and I'm just dialing in the exact angle I need. Make small adjustments until it fits perfectly, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm matching that up. Once I have that, I can start cutting all of my frame boards. When I was coming up with my design, I actually referenced the USPS website because I wanted to make sure that my mailbox met the standards. There's certain heights and it has to be a certain amount of inches away from the curb. So you definitely want to reference that. So here's what the plate looks like underneath. Almost looks like they had to bend it a little bit to get that old mailbox to fit in there. But we're gonna straighten this up, clean it up a little bit. To get that level exactly where I wanted it, I just had to adjust the pole a little bit. Luckily it wasn't cemented in, so I could just dig out and make a little adjustment. So I got this mocked up pretty close. One thing is, when I put this cedar on the sides here, I don't want them to be either flush or sticking out outside of the mailbox, because I don't want them to catch water. I want water to run off this and then come down. So basically with the pole there, it's a little bit too wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just notch out maybe an inch on each side. And that way I can push this whole thing in closer, and that will help with the gap up top. All right, so I got those notches cut out. Came out good. Next thing I want to do is, before I get too far, is I actually want to mount this mailbox to the post. So I have it lined up right where I want to. I grab a Sharpie, and what I did was I just went in here and where all the holes are. I can get that to focus for you. Just made some Sharpie marks. Now I know where the holes are. And with that off, now you can see where all my holes line up. So I think what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to use 6 of these holes. I'm going to use these 3 and then the outside ones here. Drill some holes next and get this thing mounted. All right, and if you just want to know how to put in a mailbox, you can stop the video here, but what fun would that be, right? Want to hold this for me?
Sure.
Fall that way. Hold it. Got it?
Oh, there's no mailbox right here.
Thanks.
Did you build it or bought it?
I bought the mailbox.
Oh. Oh, is this the picture that you made that you showed me?
Yeah. On the computer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at builder.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, thanks.
Okay, you can let go.
Okay. Good.
Cool. Thank you for your help.
I love you.
Love you too.
See ya.
See ya. All right, so I got a good rock bed underneath that hopefully that will help it with deterioration over the years. And I got it just level so that it's just underneath the mailbox bracket underneath there. So I think we're in good shape. So what I'm going to do next is actually I'm going to better secure each of these sides to each other. So I'm going to grab some more 2x4s and put a couple in here and then string some along the sides just to make it all one unit. So besides these 2 screws here that anchor the pole and the mailbox to the frame itself, I also added 2 lag bolts into some pre-existing holes in the mailbox here, which also tie it to the frame. You can see it in there. So now this is just one structure all together. It was racking a little bit before, but now it's all nice and tight and it's all basically one unit. So we're ready to keep going. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Put that back.
You just told me to grab it.
I know. We have to talk about what we're going to do to these fine folks at home, okay? So what we're doing...
But how do you know they're at home?
Well, you're right. I don't know that they're at home. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the boards that we're going to use for the frame, okay?
Uh-huh.
And we're going to bring them over here, and we're going to turn them from rough to smooth with 120 grit sandpaper.
Okay.
All right? Your job is to bring the boards over. My job is to make them smooth.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Go. Okay? All right, you can bring me over another one.
"12 seconds later."
Okay, so what I'm doing here now is I'm basically going to make a cut template for cutting all these angles on the front here. So I got a level, and I'm going to put it right up to the mailbox. And the mailbox and everything is actually pitching towards the street a little bit. I didn't want it perfectly level because I don't want rain and water to settle up on top. That way it can come off naturally, okay? So I'm putting this level here, and basically that just brings down this parallel line with the mailbox. And then I can butt this up like this, grab a pencil, make our mark back here, and now I have my cut angle. And we just transfer that over to all the boards. Now, if you've never seen one of these before, it's basically just a homemade jointer sled that you can use on a table saw. A couple pieces of plywood, just making sure that they're nice straight edges, and a couple of toggle clamps. The jig rides along your table saw fence. Make your cut, take it out of the jig, flip it over so that the cut side that you just did is against your table saw fence, and run it through on the other side and you'll have a nice straight edge. Now I'm just making sure that the miter saw has the angle I need, and I start making all my cuts. Now this next part you're going to want to pay attention very closely. You need to spill the stain all over the place and make a mess. Why? It's just something that will just help you with your project. Clean it all up, start spraying it around, and you'll be good. Or you could use a little tub or something like that. How novel. So I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to cut all of the angles and all the lengths I need for all the sides. And this is what I came up with. So one thing to take into account is the coloration of your boards. Like I have some that has like this sapwood, this lighter wood here. And then I have some that are just basically the same color all the way through. If you have a whole bunch of the same and then one out of place, it looks kind of weird. So mix and match them up. It'll look better. Yeah, totally spaced out on that. I don't want my screws exposed the way out here. I want them underneath the trim. So I just got to put in some blocking in here. So I think the best way to avoid all the mistakes that I do is don't do what I did. And now on to the trim. Still using these cedar fence pickets, just cutting them down to size. These will cover up all the screw holes. And when assembling these corner pieces, use Type Bond 3. It's waterproof. That's what you want to use for outdoor applications. Okay, now I'm going to work on the top piece. I'm going to grab some cedar planks, I'm going to glue a couple together, make a panel, and then make some edge profiles around the side. I'm going to use the table saw for that. Now, because of the top area where this is going to be sitting is not square, it's rectangle, I can't just put all four sides and just keep rotating it around. They won't match up. So I need to just take my time and sneak up on it so that they match. To attach the top, I'm actually just using some silicone adhesive. I don't know if I'm going to have to take off the top and replace it. I don't know how well it's going to hold up with standing water. I'm hoping that I seal it up very well and then I won't need to, but just in case, I want to make it somewhat easy to take off. You gotta, this hand, hold it up.
Is that?
How's that?
Good.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
I'm using spar urethane to seal everything up. I'm going to put a little bit up here in this spot just to let it dry and test out. But after a couple hours it looked great, so I go ahead and seal up the whole thing. I'm going to do 3 coats, and I believe you had to wait about 6 hours in between coats. Need air. Okay, so I got all the edging done, and now I'm just spending a little bit of time just cleaning up everything. I live on a mountain, so there's rocks everywhere, so I'm just trying to pick up as many of the bigger rocks that I can. And previously there was a bush in this area, so there's a lot of roots still, so I'm just doing the best I can to pick up all those roots. Next, I'm going to be putting down the rock. And so some people say, do you put down the weed cloth, the weed barrier first? Do you not use it? I've done it both, and I don't see a difference in either one. Especially being near the road here, I imagine as cars come by in the winter or whatever, dirt will get kicked up on these rocks at some point. And once everything starts falling down from the trees and everything, it's gonna land on top of the rocks, and weeds could grow anyway. So whether or not there's a weather barrier underneath it, I don't think it matters, to be honest with you. So I'm choosing to just put down the rock. So let's put down some rock. Wait, what was that? That's an Amazon truck, and it did not stop at my house. Something must be wrong. And that wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys really liked it. I think it came out great. You can see on the top there, I actually added a couple of tiers to the very top of it, just to give it a little bit more depth. Be sure to check out the next video. It's coming out soon. See you on the next one.